Ladies and gentlemen, live from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Wednesday or Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for AEW Dynamite or Collision Event Center. And now here's the man that will bring you the happenings of AEW All Elite Wrestling action, Mr. Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans, 1977, episode 2288, and this 2288. And this is the first day of June, 9:18 p.m. That's right, first day of June, 2025, actually. So, 9:18 p.m. I promised you I would do this. Like I said, kind of constraints last night because thanks to the freaking New York Knicks, the stupid New York Knicks, I should say, instead of letting the Pacers close out the series, they decided, well, let's win another game and go to Game 6 and preempt Collision and move it on down. And Collision didn't start till 11:45. Usually around this time, I probably am done with the video, uploaded it, and getting ready to go to take a shower and stuff. But no, it ended at 1:45 because the Knicks can't stand losing. Well, guess what? They lost last night, thank God, to the Pacers, who are seeking their first. The Pacers are seeking their first championship, and while the Oklahoma City Thunder, even though they won 2 titles when they were known as the Seattle Supersonics before they made the move to Oklahoma City, so now the Thunder are also seeking their first title in Oklahoma City. So they got 2 with the Seattle Supersonics, but this is their first time trying to get their first time trying to get a finals, trying to get their first title. I think they've been in the finals before. I think, but I forget. I know they haven't won the finals yet, but might I digress? It's Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Indiana Pacers in the NBA Finals. Meanwhile, the Stanley Cup Finals will be all set. The Florida Panthers, defending their title, set to take on the Edmonton Oilers, who their first trip back to the finals since the Wayne Gretzky days, I do believe. So, and with the addition of Brad Marchand on the Florida team after the trade with the Boston Bruins, I think the Florida Panthers might repeat. So we'll see what happens there. So let's talk about AEW Collision last night. Like I said, when to get going with this. Before the matchup, Jimena Sanchez from the who does the interviews, also wrestling interviews from Mexico, interviewed Commander before his matchup against Claudio Castagnoli in an international title fatal 4-way qualifier. As you know, at Fyter Fest, Kenny Omega will defend the title in the 4-way against the qualifying winners. So far, Brody King is one of them. And so Alex Abrahantes, his interpreter and / manager, says that Commander could end up winning the whole thing and become the next international champion. But Claudio Castagnoli had something to say about that. And Castagnoli was determined to win a title for the Death Riders as he picked up the victory over Commander. Renee Paquette, I actually wrote Renee Young here, don't know why. I mean, I was too tight, my brain was tight. Interviewed Swerve Strickland about the situation between him, Will Ospreay, and Hangman and Page. He said, I said what I had to say. I decided to walk away from this and all that. And Will Ospreay goes, what's that all about? And he says, listen, Hangman Adam Page won the tournament. He has a right to that championship. And he goes, and Swerve Strickland says, no, he does not. They started arguing, and all of a sudden they came to blows. So Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay, I'll tell you one thing, if Strickland, Ospreay, and Hangman Adam Page don't start getting along, the Death Riders may end up taking over the company faster than you could say Ticonderoga, if you could say Ticonderoga. Security had to break it up. Trios matchup as Tomohiro Ishii, the Stone Pitbull, and Paragon, the team of Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly, took on the team of Konosuke Takeshita and RPG Vice. That's the team of Trent Beretta, Rocky Romero, members of the Don Callis family. And then in that matchup, thanks to Don Callis getting involved in that matchup, by the way, Konosuke Takeshita and Roppongi Vice, a.k.a. RPG Vice, winning the matchup. And then the AEW Continental Title Eliminator matchup, Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker, the champion, takes on the 5-tool player Anthony Bowens. Heck of a matchup this was, but in the end, Okada found a way to defeat the much more powerful Bowens. And Lexi Nair interviewed Danny Garcia and Matt Menard after their tag team loss at Double or Nothing. By the way, this is the fallout from Double or Nothing Part 2. As we head into Fyter Fest. And Danny Garcia was determined to look forward and move on. But Don Callis and Lance Archer runs his mouth, well, you should join the Don Callis family and all that. So, and Danny Garcia says he's sick and tired of people telling him what to do, and so and all that good stuff, and he's about had enough. Meanwhile, Tony Schiavone got Stokely Hathaway and FTR in the ring, and Tony Schiavone decided to give the mic to them, said he doesn't want to deal with them and have nothing to do with them, and I don't blame him. So they started running their mouths, and they said, well, they'll issue a challenge to anybody south of the border. And here comes Templario and Atlantis Jr. interrupt them, and they were about to talk, and FTR keeps running their mouths, and then FTR attacked them, and then both teams fought back, and they said, we'll kick your butts. And that match is made for Fyter Fest. Now, Fyter Fest is coming Wednesday, 4 hours. That means probably 2 hours for Dynamite and 2 hours for Collision combined. That's what I'm thinking. So, so get those out of the way. Meanwhile, the lovely, gorgeous, curvaceous, and I mean seriously curvaceous, Mina Shirakawa took on another curvaceous babe in Sky Blue. Mina Shirakawa ended up winning the matchup with the Glamorous Driver, and then Julia Hart ambushed her from behind, and then so did Blue jumped right in. So the Timeless One, Toni Storm, the AEW Women's World Champ, got involved and helped out Mina Shirakawa. And after all, they are friends, and that leads to a tag team match this Wednesday at Fyter Fest as the Timeless One, Toni Storm, the AEW Women's World Champ, team up with Mina Shirakawa as they will take on Julia Hart and Sky Blue. Mercedes Moné will be joining on commentary for that Wednesday. And not only that, in the women's action too, a nemesis of Mina Shirakawa's is headed her way to AEW. She made her way this past Wednesday, as Tekla will be making her in-ring debut. So it'll be very interesting to see who she faces and how. And Mina Shirakawa's already had enough. He says, I thought I got rid of you, and then Thekla tweeted her, you're next. And I'm like, you better not hurt my girl, Mina. Anyways, the Gates of Agony did cut a promo about the tag team division and how they're going to beat up their opponents. And then the Gates of Agony took on the team of Jimo Kaminari and Cosmo Orion. And the Gates of Agony picked up the team over this intergalactic team. Then a trios match of AR, Fox, and Type Flight, accompanied by the lovely Layla Gray. She's another one of my favorites. Took on the team of Rush, Beast Mortos, and Tralistico, Los Facción Ingonables, and LFI ended up won the matchup, but they were not done. They decided to attack Top Flight and AR Fox after the matchup, but then Commander and Speedball Mike Bailey help out the Top Flight and Fox, leading to another trios matchup next week as Jet Speed, and that's the team of Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight, will team up with Commander as they take on the LFI at Fyter Fest as well. Well, a lot of matches happening at Fyter Fest. And Mark Briscoe decided to challenge Jon Moxley to a non-title matchup because in his mind, it's more than the championship to him. So they'll have a matchup this coming Wednesday at Fyter Fest. And finally, the international title 4-way qualifier part 2, the main event, Mascara Dorada, formerly known as Grand Metalik, going up against Hechicero. And Mascara Dorada wins that matchup. So the international title match has been set for Fyter Fest as Kenny Omega defends it against Brody King, Claudio Castagnoli, and Mascara Dorada. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in that matchup. And I like to see Brody King walk out with that championship. I have a lot of respect for Kenny Omega, but I think his war with the Young Bucks, I know it's not over yet, it could distract him and it could cost him in the end. That's why I say let Brody King hold the title and let him run, take that ball and run with it. So we shall see what happens. Or will it be a showdown between him and Kazuchika Okada too? That's another person that Omega will have to deal with down the road. Who knows? They could form an AEW Intercontinental title of their own. Who knows? NJPW has one, and we all know WWE has one, but we shall see and we shall find out what's going on there. So that's all the time that we have on this show. Episode 2288 is complete. As I said, we have many episodes to go. Like I said, tomorrow we'll be having the first Martindale Monday of June 2025 as okay, we'll Jeff Goldblum. As we hit June, summer's right around the corner, and we're gonna have a little bit of fun there. So I'll see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful, blessed day, and until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and do it for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.